Kris McCusker joins us now from the 680 News Business Center, and we begin with the Canadian economy. Kris, is there any signs of it slowing down?
There is, and in fairness, that's not entirely surprising, Melissa. We have seen 10 interest rate hikes since March of last year, and the intention with that is sort of to cool everything down. So that means the economy is cooling too. So our economy on track for a 1% annualized gain in Q2. That would be below the 1.5% predicted by the Bank of Canada. And this comes after the May reading about in line with expectations, showing growth of 0.3%. Now the estimate for June showing a contraction of 0.2%. That would be the first contraction this year, but that figure still needs to be finalized. So overall, we did see a strong start to the year, but it appears to be fizzling. And the interest rate hikes, of course, part of the story, along with the ongoing forest fires. Now, the Bank of Canada forecasting economic growth to moderate to an average of 1% through the second half of this year and the early part of next year. Although I'm going to point out the Bank of Canada forecasting growth, not a contraction/recession.
Okay, now meanwhile, the concert industry isn't slowing down, and Taylor Swift certainly isn't the anti-hero for show promoters.
Yes, Live Nation says that it had its best second quarter ever, and yes, Taylor Swift getting some of the credit with her Eras Stadium tour continuing, not coming to Canada, at least not yet. Live Nation also expecting that 2023 is going to be a record year. And it says early indicators for 2024 suggest continued growth. Now, Live Nation, which owns Ticketmaster and controls a large chunk of the concert industry, did report earnings that beat forecasts. Revenue rose by 27%, with more than 117 million tickets sold so far this year. That's a jump of 20% from last year. Live Nation describing this as the concert revenge spending boom after largely shutting down in 2020 and part of 2021. Now, shares in Live Nation today did hit a one-year high before changing direction, so a bit of a fly in the ointment here. Late in the day, reports the Department of Justice in the U.S. looking at a potential lawsuit by the end of the year, and this, of course, over the company's dominance of the live entertainment business. So the early part of the day, very good for Live Nation. There could be trouble ahead.
Okay, and to the big screen now, it sounds like good news is on the horizon for the Star Wars universe.
Yes, we had heard last week that there was a chance that the limited series based on Lando Calrissian, that the future of that series might be in doubt because the writer that was under, I guess, contract or slated, let's say, to write the series hadn't heard a thing since 2020. But it turns out that Donald Glover and his brother Steven are now the ones writing the series, this according to reports. So Donald Glover portrayed a young Lando in Solo, a Star Wars story back in 2018. It's still not clear if he's going to star in this series. All he would say is that they are talking about it. So a huge sigh of relief for Star Wars fans, including me.
Excellent, excellent. Well, have yourself a great weekend, Kris.
Yes, you too.